Oh my gosh. Hi, everybody. This is Joanne Eisen with Reach the Unlimited, and it is definitely a Monday morning and it's definitely early, which is not normal, but that's okay because that's what I decided to do this week and it's my show. Anyway, we are a few minutes late because Janine and I have been chatting and,
Yeah.
and we thought all of a sudden, wow, we better get back on target here. Let me go to my chats.
Oh,
So,
can I
Janine,
see chat now? Hang
oh,
on a
yeah,
minute.
go. Do you see
Do
the
I
chat?
push chat then? Do I?
Yeah,
Should I be
push
able to?
comments. Yeah, push the comments there. Hi, the one person who's here. We see you, but we don't
Oh,
know who you are.
oh, how do I get back out of there then? Oh, there. That's all right. I don't want to press the wrong button and go. Oh my God, Janine's vanished.
So,
Right.
did you see the chats there, though?
Not quite yet. No, not
Okay.
yet.
Well, nobody's chatted yet, so
Nobody's
we
chatting
have two
anyway.
people watching, but nobody's comment. Marsha Johnson just said, "It's me!" Yay, Marsha! So we were chatting about how spirit loves to teach us in all different and creative ways. And it's true because, sometimes we really see our lessons are bizarre, right? Our lessons are crazy. And that's what we were just chatting about. So we'll include you all now.
Yes, definitely. The only thing is, Joe, I can't quite hear you. I don't know if the volume. I don't know. You seem
Um,
really far away. I didn't.
I
Thought
have
I
my
better.
microphone. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, isn't it
Can you hear
weird?
me
Maybe I'm
better?
going deaf.
Do you have your volume up?
Yeah, I have mine up as well. How strange is that then?
Huh.
Oh, I can
Uh,
definitely hear you now. How odd, because you
can you
usually
hear me
sound a
now?
lot louder.
Hi, Marcia, Karen, and Anita. Can you all hear me? Can everybody hear me okay? Just to make sure I'm not missing because I can. No, I hear me fine.
Yeah, isn't it weird, isn't
I'm
it?
in my
It might
room.
be me.
Yeah.
Don't know.
So we were going to talk today because one of the things. Yes, you can. Okay, thank you, Marcia. One of the things that I went through was going to visit my family for so long. Good, thank you. Going to see my family for so long, and I didn't know if that would work, and it did, and a lot of things have been happening in Janine's life, and we wanted to talk about change and how change in our life is inevitable. I mean, there's no
Yeah.
way we're all going to get away from change.
No.
And it's good a lot of times, to reevaluate and make changes in our life. And sometimes it's scary.
Yeah, it definitely is scary. Definitely. I mean, they keep bringing different things, don't they? Different
Mhm.
changing paths. It's almost like everyone's path is slightly changing all the time now. We're not
Right.
on the same path as we were 12 months ago. None of us, I don't think. It's just constantly changing.
Exactly. And the other thing, I know if you guys can put in the chat what kind of changes have been happening in your life and how has that affected you? Because what I've noticed is the change that happens in my life, it affects other people. I mean,
Yeah,
change is something that, and I think a lot of times we may be afraid of change based on how we think it's going to be perceived or accepted or intertwined with other
yeah.
people's lives as well.
I tell you, I don't know if you've experienced this, Joe. I'm pretty sure you
Mhm.
have, and I think most people have. But part of that change, I almost feel like, including myself, everybody sort of wants to go and hibernate at the moment because they're sort of going
Mhm.
within and they're healing within. And
Mhm.
quite often, our friends and family don't understand why we're hibernating, and
Mhm.
they feel distant from us. And that can be a tricky one as well because we're needing to withdraw to go and
Right?
do that healing, but we're
Mhm.
trying to connect with our families as well, which is really hard. Like you were saying earlier, isn't it? It's just really hard to reconnect back to them once we've done that bit of healing because they might not have moved forward in that path with you. Do you know what I mean? That's what I feel
Family,
like I felt with
yeah,
my family.
family is a really tricky part of our lives, right? Because we have that deeper, more connected relationship with our family.
Yeah,
And sometimes we walk away from our family, and sometimes we put up with our family. I mean, there's so many dynamics in family.
yeah.
Um, Hi, Marilyn. Hey, we got a YouTuber. Yay. Haven't seen a YouTuber in a while. I'm going to thank you for doing that, Marilyn, because while I have you, I wanted my iPad here and I didn't. I want to see, because I know there's a delay on YouTube. So I
Oh, is
kind of
it?
wanted to do YouTube on one device. Keep talking. Talk amongst yourself, Janine.
Oh, what's this button? It says mic. Oh, I didn't realize it was a mic button. Sorry, I'm still yet learning how to use StreamYard. So
Yeah,
what does this button do? Should I press it, Joe, and see what
sure. Why
happens?
not? Oh yeah, we're there live. I see us live.
Myself,
Okay, let me
sorry.
see if I can-
I'm still trying to learn.
I'm doing. Oh, there we go.
So
Okay, I need
why
to.
not? Oh yeah, we're there.
Hold on.
Oh, it's an
Okay,
echo.
thank you, Marilyn. You're going to give me what I've been wanting because I'm FYI for everybody. Marcia and I on Friday are going to be doing live readings. So I wanted to be able to monitor YouTube and see how it works with StreamYard because I know there's a delay. So,
Yeah.
okay, so back to family.
Don't we love it?
Well, I was sharing about how when I've been, I was with my family and what you think may happen doesn't always happen because there's different lessons to be learned or different experiences to have.
Yeah.
And so I had a abrupt change in my situation. I'm going to just put it that way. And, it was something that was very difficult for me because, I just love both of my children, really. And I love both of my children the same, always have. But, we're all learning lessons in life. And so the dynamics just changed and we go through different periods of time. And the thing that I learned from that is about we go through these changes and there's nothing personal to it. You just allow people, like you and I talk a lot about allowing people to go through their experiences and supporting them in it versus judgment or having some kind of hurt feelings or anger towards it.
Yeah, exactly. It's all I mean, I know certainly with my family, it's been very difficult, because they sort of think, that's Janine, that funny trance medium, But, we just have to allow them to go through their own healing, don't we? Because we're all at different stages, different progressions, aren't we, of our healing and just allowing, isn't it? And just being ourselves, I think is really important with family and it's part of their lesson if they're struggling with that, isn't it? I think too. It's just allowing them to struggle with that and process it and work through it. But like you said, isn't it? Not letting it affect us.
And I think that comes with our growth, right? Because I think a lot of times, like when I was younger, that was yesterday, by the way. But I would have like a personal attachment to it. And when you have a personal attachment to it and you're not really looking within yourself, that's when you start being more defensive to the other or with the other person. Yeah. And I noticed during this particular situation, or actually the whole visit, I just stayed within my own boundaries and I didn't go outside of that. And I really feel like that, I'm not to the finish line on that one yet. I know I could still be triggered, but at least it helped quite a bit to stay within my own boundaries and know it wasn't personal.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean because I had an experience with my family only a couple of weeks ago and I sort of thought I'll give them a ring, have a phone call, have a chat with them. And it was this real sense of love that was coming from my end towards them, obviously. But it was this real sense of feeling of, sometimes parents aren't good at expressing their feelings to you. And I had that feeling from Spirit. Janine, your lesson is to be proud of yourself, not to expect it from others. And that was a great lesson for me with my family and understanding, I think, where our parents come from, what the history is, what their upbringing was like, and the upbringing before that. It's like we're all a big chain effect, like a domino effect that's trying to move forward. And my spirit guides are always telling me, try to understand from their perspective where they're coming from.
Right.
It's and that's been really hard for me to do. I don't know about yourself. I think many of us on here take offense from our parents. I wish our parents would tell me they're really proud of me. Why don't they do it? But I realized I've been seeking approval for the last 28 years from others to tell me that instead of from myself. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. In fact, on my live that I did last week, I started about whatever that's happening within us is coming from within us. It's not coming from out of us. And I love what Tony said about her aunt said that she needed to go to seek counseling. I feel like our whole life, if we are open to it, is a lesson about evolving and becoming more inward because it really is. This life is our life. Yeah. Like we started our conversation off with that, right? This life is our life and we get to live it the way that we want to live it. But yet we always seem to give our power away to other people to determine whether we're going to be happy or not, or what we're going to
Yeah,
do, or what time we're going to do it, or we should be doing this, or we
yeah,
should be doing that, versus
yeah,
just allowing us to experience our life. Like you were saying, you're busy, you've been really busy, and I've been really busy. And I finally decided I get to choose each day how I want to live my life.
yeah,
I'm wise enough to know what's the priority. I'm wise enough to know this is something that needs to be done right now or not. Or am I being influenced by other people thinking something is a priority? That's a
yeah.
difference.
That's it, isn't it? I think a lot of us so just want to be loved and appreciated and appraised. Do you know what I mean? But I think
Right.
that comes from our childhood, because we crave
Absolutely.
that as children, don't we? And then suddenly it's
Absolutely.
gone. We spend our whole lives looking for it, when actually it's coming straight from our own spirit, isn't it? That's where we should be receiving it.
Absolutely. And you're right, Marilyn. And I do love that I have it. Looks like it comes pretty fast on StreamYard. Some people say you don't get it, but they all came. They came both times at the same time. But yeah, it is about going back and loving yourself first, but it's also about loving yourself in a way that is more truthful to yourself, right? It's not
Mm.
about just acceptance or doing things that are loving to yourself, but it's really about facing your truths and facing the things that you're avoiding. Like when I got back, I was really tired and I wanted to keep pushing. So I was pushing about getting things done. I got to catch up, blah, blah, blah. And I was really spinning my wheels until finally I just said, you know what? I have to take time to just rest and get my life in order. Yesterday, I had a really important class that I was supposed to be on.
Yeah.
And because I was pushing and trying to do so many things, I didn't put into my calendar and I wasn't there.
Yeah, do you know what? I totally
So mad at
empathise
myself.
with that, because I on Sunday I had everything planned on Sunday what I was going
Uh-huh,
to do, and
uh-huh,
it turned out the completely opposite way. I think what happened. I think I woke up and a family situation occurred
uh-huh.
that set off a domino effect of
Hmm.
healing all day that I
Right.
didn't expect.
Uh-huh.
And it was a really, really tough day. And then I had all this planned, that what I was going to do. I was going to do a bit of art, I was going to go out for a walk, and none of it happened. And I fought and fought all day against it. I was really like, and Spirit said, so when are you going to surrender? What do you actually feel like doing, Janine? And I thought, well,
Mhm.
actually, I feel like sitting in bed doing absolutely nothing all day, watching the telly and just staring into space. And they said, so why don't you do it? I said, well, I can't do that. But I did. I surrendered in the end. But like we were talking about many times. Yeah.
And then what we do when we do that, we like I did that on oh no, one day last week. I was like,
Yeah.
because I literally was not being productive. And
Yeah.
so I thought, okay, what do you really want to do today? And then when we do that, we go through the battle within our mind. I feel bad. I should be doing this. Or I'm being lazy, or I'm not being productive.
Yeah.
Instead of just being self-loving and saying your body needs to rest, your mind needs to get back
Yeah.
acclimated to your life, your whatever it is that you're going through. And it
Yeah.
really is, like you said, surrendering into what
Yeah.
is the most loving thing for me to do at the time. Because like I really believe that most of us, I can't say all of us because there's never an all, are intelligent and responsible enough to know what we need to do when we need to do it, right?
Yeah.
So when
Exactly.
we do have those down times, we do have to honor them and not beat ourselves up over it as well.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly. I think we've just all got into a routine of busy, busy, isn't it? And we've got to do this and we've got to do
Mhm.
that. And there's just so many emotions going on, I think, with everybody at the moment, isn't there?
I think there's a lot of change that's happening, and we're seeing it not only, in our own personal lives, but also in the world, and all of I think the constructs of good and bad, of, hassle and not, of anger and kindness, and it's like, how do we get through this and become one? How do we survive all of this? Which is ultimately, I was talking with somebody last week about what is our purpose in life, and it is about having peace in the world. When we finally get to the point where every person can be of like mind and be of peace, we don't need to be evolving or
No, no, we don't.
co-creating on this planet anymore. We come here for that
Yeah,
friction and that, contrast between one
Yeah.
another. But could you imagine a time when we all just remember who we are and where we
Yeah.
come from?
Yeah. I tell you what, I've had so many lessons myself the last few weeks, and it's like, I think we all, because like yourself, we get focused on our spiritual work, don't we? We want to be doing the readings, we want to be doing this, we want to be doing that, and this and that. And Spirit said to me, spiritualism isn't, it is the readings, it is everything that we do spiritually to help other people. But
Mm-hmm.
that's only a fragment of it. That's just a
Yeah.
tiny, tiny speck of it. The actual real spiritualism is just to sit and be quiet, be present, go
Mhm.
within and heal. That's what a soul wants to do.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? I think
Yep.
sometimes, I think even I'm guilty of it. We want the answers, we want them to come to us, but
Mhm.
this is only coming from Richard. That's what he's always teaching me, is don't
But
worry about anything.
when you think about where the answers come from, when you're pushing that within your own mind, it's coming from your ego,
Yeah,
which isn't truly the answer. But when we're
yeah,
sitting in the quiet and we're connecting with our team, then that's when we get the true answers of what life is about, or
yeah,
what our purpose is, or the direction we need to go.
yeah,
And I like what Tony had said again about being more comfortable now, right? Through a period of that understanding and working with self. And I really think that that's the main key.
yeah,
Is you can go to 100 people or 1,000 people or even 20 big name people or whatever. The real growth comes from within yourself.
yeah,
And that comes from
absolutely.
the quiet, because you have to make those changes. You have to be able to see
Yeah.
what it is that your purpose or your lesson here in life is about. Nobody can make you change.
No, we have to do it on our own, don't we? And
Mhm.
I can't see anybody chatting at the moment, maybe because I'm on an iPad, so I'm hopeless with the
Yeah.
chat bit on
Oh,
here.
they're taking care of each other too. I love that. Hi to everybody and good to see you. And how are you doing? So it's really nice seeing everybody chat with each other.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, I think as well this week, because we chat so casually, don't we? We don't really plan anything. We just get on here and have a chat, don't we?
We do.
But I don't know. It's like we're openly chatting, isn't it? But I mean, I don't know for some this week what their lessons have been, but one of my lessons have been this week is, like when we're trying to do our readings and getting back and trying to reach out to people, I found myself going, come on, Spirit, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to go back and do platforms? Do you want me to do this? We've got to reach all these people. And I suddenly realized reaching people, we can sit in front of thousands of people and think that we're reaching people, but we can sit in front of 10 people and reach one person and reach thousands of people through that person because they've
Mhm.
connected to their family and their friends. And Spirit are really showing me this week that less is more, isn't it? We
Yes.
don't need to be
Mm.
necessarily out there as a medium, do we, as well?
Well, I
It's
think
part of
that,
our work.
in fact, I had this conversation with a friend a couple days ago about what do we really want? Know what you really want, because there's a lot of people that I see on YouTube that their whole big thing is to have 45, 50,000 followers or whatever. It's like,
Mm,
why? Why do you want that many? And what is the motive to wanting that many? And that comes more from ego, where if you're really doing your heart's desire, I mean, we all want to be seen and we all want to be heard. I'm not dismissing that, because we
yeah,
want our voice to get out and the message of what we're really here for to get out. But
yeah,
I feel like you're right. It's like if you really stay within the constructs of where you're at and how spirit's working with you, that's how you move forward. And that's really the bottom line, is making the impact that will really help people to see what are they here for and
yeah.
what are they here to learn. And I know you and your guides have done fabulous work in that area in so many ways.
It's
And
only Spirit. They've been booting me up the backside, Joe. Come on, Janine, get out the ego and
I
try and
know
help
that
me
one.
heal.
Absolutely. And that's a part of our lesson, though,
Yeah,
because like for me, being gone for the period of time that I was gone, when I came back, the lesson that I learned through that is by pushing and forcing didn't get me where I really wanted to be, was a voice for spirit.
yeah,
What helped me was exactly what you've said several times, is total surrender.
yeah,
And we hear it and we know it, right? It's like,
yeah,
okay, I understand what surrender means, but I still get in my own way.
yeah. I
Sure, I
mean,
still will continue.
I mean, I stopped sitting for physical mediumship months ago, and I vowed I wasn't going to sit again. And in the last few weeks, well, 3, 4 weeks, Spirit said, we want you to sit for physical. And I thought, why on earth do you want me to do that? Because there's no circle, there's nobody to sit with. I said, you don't need to sit with anyone. And I've literally been sitting in the cabinet with them for the last 3 or 4 weeks, sitting for physical completely alone. And they showed me, you don't even need to leave this space. You don't even need to interact with another person. You don't need to be part of a group. It's about what they were showing me. It's the experience of blending with spirit. I mean, what an honor it is just to be in the presence of the spirit world. Right. If nobody ever even sees you or discusses you, and you never leave that room that you're sat in, does it really matter?
You know, I want to expand on that, because I get what you're saying, but I want people to really understand what you're saying. And it's about sitting in that power with spirit and feeling it, feeling all aspects of that power. That's what makes a good medium. It's not about how many connections you make or getting this information right or wrong or whatever, because then you're going into your ego and into your head. But when you, and I know what you're talking about, because that's what I've been doing. And I think that's what really helped me, in contrast too, because when I was gone, I didn't have that time to sit in the power like I did every morning. But when I got back and then I was able to sit in the power again, it was more, it was stronger for some reason, because I trusted, while I wasn't sitting in the power, that my team didn't leave me. But when I came home and I sat in the power again, then I felt more strongly that influence and the changes. And that's what Janine is talking about. It's sitting within, and whether you do mediumship or not, it's that connection with your spiritual team, because all of us have a spiritual team. And it's connecting with them. And then when you're beyond, like I went and had, you know, almost a month of family and energy and past life and all this stuff, it wasn't the same life that I have where I'm in, you know, my own little cocoon. So that's what I feel like, you know, Janine's talking about more about. And I think that's where our growth comes from, because that's when we really are being taught what we're here for. People always want to know their purpose. But really, if all of us could understand, we don't have to pay anybody for that. We can sit with our team and they will tell us, they will direct us if we just trust.
I mean, myself, I actually booked platform mediumship to go to churches for this year and next year in the last couple of days. And this morning I emailed every single one of them and said I wasn't going to do it.
Really?
Because it's about coming back into that space and going, do you know what? We can do this in this space. We don't need to be. Do you know what I mean? I think our ego it's wonderful to do demonstrations, but there are other ways of doing things. And I think there's so many of us that are just not doing mediumship, are just blending or just sitting in the power and sitting with our guides at home and not doing any kind of mediumship. But that's part of your spiritual development, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Sitting in the power of spirit, not anything else.
You know, you bring up a good subject. And I know we need to get into the trance, but you bring up a good subject about the self-development and the healing and development of others. Like, we do need each other for development. We learn from each other. We learn in conversations like this. We learn in, you know, somebody who may have because we don't have all the knowledge. We're all together as one to learn from each other. And that's what we do. But we learn so much by sitting with our own team as well. So I feel like for me, I want to do the opposite. I feel like it's time for me now to go out and be in churches and whatever, to be able to speak what spirit wants to speak. So I'm not sure how that's going to work out, because we don't have the same kind of format that you have in England, where
you're on a different journey to me, because I've already done the platform bit, whereas you're just starting to go out and experience that. But it's like Spirit said to me, your church is in your heart. You can do it from your home, you know. And I think it's present here, but I think it's really good to experience being on platform and going and doing that, because that's part of your journey now, isn't it? We're all so different.
Well, I think that there's something to learn from both, don't you think? Like, you learned a lot through all of, like, I know I wasn't through a lot of your journey, but through this latter part of it, there was a lot of lessons you learned through that interaction and doing what you were doing. So I think there's something to be learned on both sides.
Yeah, definitely. I just think everyone's individual. Everyone's
Yeah,
path is different. I think some
exactly.
people are meant to be really, really famous. Some
Mm-hmm.
people not. But it's
Mm-hmm.
all still working with spirits, whatever spirit are planning for us, isn't it? And what they want us to learn about and heal about. So,
And that's the important thing for all of us to
mm,
remember is that we're all on our own unique journey and we can't like make it wrong or judge it or
no, we mustn't
try
judge
to change
anybody.
it. We just have to do our own whatever
Yeah,
works for us or feels right.
yeah, exactly.
That's so funny, Marilyn, that you heard that. Sitting by yourself is so important. And to see, for me, that's how I started. But I needed that because I had a very fast mind, a very fast life. I wanted to push and push and push. So for me, to sit and learn was more important than being out there and doing. So
Yeah,
we all have
that's
our
it,
own
isn't it?
path.
Yeah, I must admit, it used to be fun doing the platform demonstrations, but really exhausting as well.
I would imagine. I would imagine. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it, or I'm just allowing spirit to open up the
It's going to
opportunity.
be amazing. You're going to be fabulous. I think you'll be
Well,
great.
I'm glad you think so. I don't know. We'll see. I do. Were you like really afraid the first time you did it? Is the first one like the biggest hurdle to get over?
Oh, I mean, they used to have fledgling nights at our church. So they would get like practicing mediums.
Uh huh.
So they call it like the fledgling night. So
Okay.
everyone would come in, and the president of the church would always say, look, she's a practicing medium and she's
Uh
coming out onto platform. So it would cut you some slack a bit if you completely messed up and got the wrong link or whatever. And
huh.
that's, I remember my first experience. Oh my God, it was really nerve-wracking because I don't know what they do in America, but in the UK they make you get up and do an address. And an address, I don't know, do they
Mhm.
do that with you?
Yeah,
So
they
they
do
do
that.
an address and then a reading and then the
Mhm.
demonstration. I'd be sitting there like this, shaking, because I
Oh
would be
my.
reading from this little bit of paper that I channel. Richard was channeling me through that time, just through the writing, and I would read it all out. But I was completely dyslexic, so I would make a right dog's dinner of it, I can tell you. Up there, I was so nervous, and I just kept doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it over and over and over again until the point they said, right, okay, it's not a fledgling's night now, Janine, this is the real deal. And it's sort of like, oh my God. So that's how I started out anyway.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm sure that day will happen. We're coming. I don't know what's happening with you guys in COVID, but here we're getting hit hard again. So we're
we
not
are, yeah.
totally closed down, but we're like being discouraged from being in big groups and whatnot. So
Yeah, I mean, all the churches have opened here, but the restrictions, obviously, it's all increased at the moment, isn't it? Everything's sort of kicked off again, but no, everyone has. I think everyone has to go in with masks on, and then obviously the medium doesn't have one on, and yeah, so this the churches are open here in the UK.
okay. Yeah, ours is hit and miss. Hold on, I'm writing down a question and I want to answer the question too. We'll talk about it. But for the guides, I'm going to ask that question
I can't see any of the chat, so
that
don't worry, I can't.
Fortress Art said about are you expected to know your guides' names? And for me, and I'm going to have you answer that too, Janine, is that it's really not about knowing your guides' names. It's about, again, going back into that stillness and knowing the energy of your guides. That's really the main thing is feeling them versus knowing their names. So,
Yeah.
okay, I
You
just,
saw it all, have you?
huh?
Have you seen Spirit?
That's what I thought. Yes. I was
Yeah.
like, what happened? Okay,
Oh,
you're here then. Okay,
yeah,
good.
they were confirming then.
So, what would you say to that, Janine? And then we're going to ask Richard too, or whoever, whichever you guys want
Uh, See, when I first started my trance, I wanted to know exactly who they were, what their names were, where they came from.
to. Hmm.
Oh yeah, I was really bad, and I used to have readings of other trance mediums to say, "I want the proof. I want Richard to come through you. I want this." But they did, ironically enough, come through other mediums to prove themselves to me. So
Hmm.
I did get the proof from spirit. But one thing I really learned through that experience is that I've got to stop trying to find out who they are. I mean, I was lucky enough to have that honor to know who they were. Um, but at the end of the day, it's many spirits that are blending with us.
Yes, I
Do you know what I
agree.
mean?
I
It's
totally
many.
agree. Yeah.
And this new guide that's coming through me at the moment, I have no head or tail of their names. They keep calling themselves them. I
Mm-hmm.
have no idea who they are, but I'm sure Richard has brought them closer to my energy to test my trust, because I absolutely don't have any idea. And now I've just stopped trying to figure out who they are and
Mm-hmm.
just allow it to flow. So yeah, less time trying to find out, because honestly it's so stressful trying to find out who your guides are, because you'd just be forever trying to figure it out, and you're never going to figure it out because we're not in spirit, are we? So
Exactly. And I do agree. I think like we
yeah,
have a main team, but I feel like we always have, depending on what our situation in life is, we have different
yeah,
guides that are going to help us with either whether it be angelic or in the spiritual realm or ancestry,
yeah,
depending on what we're dealing with in our lives. So I think they change. I think that we do have a main core group of guides, though, that are with us. I feel like I have the ones that I'm familiar with are usually always with me, but then I can feel
yeah,
other. How do you feel
yeah.
about that?
I definitely agree. I remember an experience, a physical experience I had
Mhm.
once when I was sat in trance. I came out of trance and I had to blink because I couldn't quite believe what I was seeing. I saw at least 6 or 7 orbs, and one spun round the front of me, and I turned my head and it was going round me in circles. And another one came round, and I actually could see my guides physically blending with me with my eyes, and they
Ah,
showed me, this is what it looks like. Why are you trying to figure it out? And it absolutely blew my mind, Joe, because all I could see was these orbs going round and round and round. And I thought, am I really seeing that with my eyes? And it was incredible to show me that if we're trying to figure out all this energy, we can't, can we?
I loved what Tony said. And I guess trance is going to have to come later. I don't know. No, we really
Don't
got to
worry,
go.
plenty of time.
But I feel you know what? I feel that there's never a concrete anything when it comes to our spiritual team. So if you are the type of person that's going to ask questions in life, you're going to ask questions to your team. I
Yeah,
feel like that's just like Janine had a different experience than I had because of her personality and my personality. So I feel like it's more the important part of it is to develop that relationship with your guides your way, because they're your guides for a specific reason based on what you're here to learn and your personality while you're here, because our personality while we're here is going to be completely different, in my opinion, than what
yeah,
we are as a spirit. So your team is there to help you evolve and learn in however way that is for you. That's my opinion with what to ask
yeah,
them or what you can or cannot ask them. I
yeah.
mean, I ask crazy stuff.
I think we
I'm
just
sure
have to
you've done it.
surrender, don't we? We have to
Exactly.
just allow it to happen.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
always say when I'm in trance, don't try and figure it out, don't try and observe it.
That's the key.
Just close the eyes and just let
Mhm.
believe, just keep believing, keep trusting.
Absolutely. And it's what you said, it's surrendering and just allow. Because I mean, I've been in meditation where sometimes I'm like, really?
Yeah.
No, really? It's like those conversations with my team. It's like, you're kidding. No way. Because they're in where our home is. They're in the truth of who we are. So they see the whole bigger picture. We're in this construct of craziness. So,
Yeah. It's like Richard always says to me, he said, because I've always said to him in the past, or them, whatever you want to call them, I've
mhm.
already always said to them, oh, that was me speaking in trance. That can't have been you guides. And the guides always turned around to me and said, well, if you weren't here, wouldn't be able to work through you. Your spirit too. We need your words of wisdom
Yeah,
and ours merging into one.
exactly.
And
Yeah,
without your words, we can't possibly connect or bring that inspiration through, because we're part of all of that. Richard always says to everybody, and he's saying it to me now,
right.
that our spirit is already out there with
Mhm,
them,
mhm.
merging in our energy. We're all part
Exactly.
of that.
I want a ditto, ditto, exclamation, exclamation, exclamation point. And I think a lot of
Yeah.
us, like I went through a big period. I'm very vocal. I'm not afraid to say things. But when it came to me exposing myself, that's when I was like, I can't do that because I'm going to be judged or whatever.
Oh,
But you know what? If we're not really doing what we're here to do, if we're not being who we are, like whether you just observe or whether you're asking questions or whatever your personality is, you've
yeah.
got a purpose to the whole bigger picture. And it's an important part of who you are and why you're here.
Yeah. I mean, we're all spirit, aren't we? You know, and when we
Absolutely.
go over the other side, I'm sure we're gonna all be coming back and blending with our
Mhm.
mediums, and Richard says that's
Exactly.
exactly what we're all going to be doing. You know,
Love that idea. I've never thought of that. That's
he keeps telling
amazing.
me that. He keeps saying, "Keep thinking that, Janine, and you'll be able to relax." Do you know what I mean?
Well, the one thing that and then we'll go in. I know people want to ask questions or whatnot. And if you're asking questions, hold it for a few minutes. So I don't want to have to go back through the feed because I'll let you put the questions in when we start. But the one thing, I have a brand new baby granddaughter, and I loved holding her because when you look into the eyes
Wonderful.
of a brand new baby, it's like this wonderness of everything. Everything is just so amazing. And
Innocence, isn't
and
it?
and then I
Yeah.
have another one who's 3, and then watching her as she's exploring and touching and reacting and figuring out life. And I learned so much from watching them. But the main thing that I learned from the two of them, only because they're at that innocent stage, right? They're just like no filters at that age. When we get like 7, 8, we start having filters or whatnot. But I was thinking, we really know we're all one, but we don't really believe it. And I just kept on getting the vision of a hand and how a hand is the one, but our fingers are the individualities. Like our fingers all do different things, but it's not a part of the hand. And I feel like we just don't really pay enough attention to the fact that we are all connected and we are all one, but we all have individualities to that. And we have to always remember that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just the children are just so innocent when they're born, aren't they? They
They
don't.
are.
They believe everything that's thrown at them. They
Mhm.
believe absolutely everything. I think spirit just wants us to go back to that inner child and into that
Exactly.
first feelings we
Yeah,
felt when we came here. Sorry,
yeah.
Richard is probably speaking more of this than I am. But yeah, he keeps telling me that. I think
Yeah, yeah.
it's easier said than done, isn't it? Imagining in
Well,
ourselves as a
I
child
feel like
again.
if
And
we could just go to that, if we could stay that we're all one, we would treat each other much differently. Because that would be like me saying, I'm going to cut off my pinky finger because I'm mad
yeah,
at you today.
yeah.
We
I
would
know.
react completely differently. All right. Shall we get to why we're here?
All right, okay then. Oh, quite easy. Whatever. I'll go into trance.
What would you like to do? What do you
I'm
feel like
happy to
doing?
go into trance. More than happy. Whatever you
Okay.
feel, I'm quite happy.
Okay.
They're here anyway because I'm just speaking out what they're saying anyway, but not in trance.
I know I was picking that up. You are speaking through your guide.
Yeah, some of it
So,
anyway, not all of it. Right, so I'll go into trance then, shall I?
sure. I'm going
You
to
might have
mute
to.
myself so I don't have any external noises to you. And then when you start talking, then I'll come back and unmute myself.
Okay then. Can you
Okay. And
hear
for
me okay?
perfectly.
Okay.
And for you guys, if you want to add your questions, again, we're not doing personal questions, but anything that has to do with spirituality or the universe or things like that. Just nothing like, what
Not
is my
going to
life
win the
purpose?
lottery.
Yeah, or the lottery numbers or anything like that.
Or when you're
More.
going to move house or.
Okay, I'm going to mute myself.
Okay, should I do an opening prayer?
Oh, yes, please.
Okay, may we invite our trance guides and our inspirers through and protectors into this vibration and space to bring your messages of wisdom. I come with no expectation. You choose what you want to talk and say, and I'm just here to surrender to you and to hand my faculties over to you. Amen. Okay, I shall see you in a minute.
Okay.
Hmm. Welcome, my dear.
Hi, Richard. Thank you for being here with us today.
Yes, we like to come forward and communicate through Janine, and any opportunity, I would say, if she allows us, of course. But quite happy to be here, and on the spirit side of life, we like the communication quite a lot. Opportunities, isn't it? And we take them as well, just like you do.
Hmm. Hmm. So we have some questions here that people would like to know. And Janine and I had a fabulous conversation about spirit and our interaction with spirit. Would you
Yes.
like to maybe start us off with how we can connect or better connect with our spiritual team?
Well, of course, you want to learn how to connect and receive the messages, isn't it? Janine
Mhm.
said, well, Richard, can you speak a little bit louder in the clear audience so I can hear you a little bit better? But she said, well, I want to hear more and experience more. And you, of course, many of you want to experience the same thing. But of course, there's the expectation. You're expecting your guide's voices to come powering through, don't you? And hear a different voice. Quite often we all talk in your voice too, whether it be through trance state or whether it be through mediumship, my dear. So you hear yourself speaking, don't you? And you say, well, I'm just talking to myself, Joanne. But of course, this is the only way that we can communicate with you. We come into the vibration, we come into your auric field, as you call it, and we connect to your vibration and your physical mind and your consciousness. We sort of manipulate the words of what you are thinking more so. So you're sort of waiting for a connective response from spirit. But what we are doing is manipulating the thoughts into your mind, bit like memories, really. So we're putting those extra memories in so you understand them through your clairvoyant state. But when you hear the voices, you say, well, that's my voice, it can't be the spirit. But we can't always change the voice necessarily and bring it into the vibration. We have to use your voice within your mental mind, if you see what I mean. So understand when you hear the messages from spirit, trust it, my dear. Understand that we are in that vibration. We are communicating with you. Those little cells in your mind are all communicating, sending the vibration and messages for all the time. Your memories, your thoughts as well. All we're doing is communicating with them and stimulating them and bringing the messages through, my dear.
Thank you. That's a wonderful answer. So, one of the
Welcome.
questions I have based on what you said, though, is by working with our team, does it get easier then to be able to tell when it's our mind or when it's spirit speaking to us? Is that something we develop?
Of course, I'll try to get Janine to step back a little bit further because some of the information she knows, so I want it to come from us more so. But can you repeat the question again? There's a little bit of hearing problems at this end, my love.
Well, you were saying that that's you manipulate the mind, or you're working with our mind when you're giving us information. And so sometimes a lot of people will question, is this me or is this spirit working with me? Is that something we develop in our working with spirit that we get better at?
Well, it's understanding and trusting the self, isn't it? This
Hmm.
is how we've been listening in the background earlier intently to you both. But we encourage Janine to trust in her inner self. That is why as she brings the information to you out of trance too, because
Hmm.
we are always in her energy and vibration. We are part of that energy field.
Hmm.
So if you start to trust the information, you trust yourselves, you trust the guidance that is coming from yourself, you will start to receive the information from us. It's like I would say bringing two energies into the same vibration. So of course we have to lower our vibration to connect to your vibration, of course. But when you start to trust your own spirit, we can come and merge with that, I would say, that vibration, and come and communicate with you, if you see what I mean. But you must trust your own spirit, my dear. That is part of your evolving and learning and sort of moving forward, isn't it, my dear? So when you connect to that, that vibration will get stronger. So of course, the spirit is multifaceted. It has many cells and many spiritual connections within that energy field. So when it all connects together and the vibration comes together, it all communicates. Therefore, we can connect to those cells of two in that vibration of spirit. They all merge as one, don't they? And that connective communication will start to connect. It's like getting two wires together, isn't it, my dear? Connecting and bringing the signals forward. So in order to do that, you must trust the experience, mustn't you?
Yes, that is so well said. Thank you. One of the questions I know people have a lot is, do I need to know the name of my guides, or can I ask the name of my guides or my spiritual team? Is it important that we know that, or do we have individual relationships with our guides and our team?
Well, Janine has already answered the question for you already, so she's one step ahead of us, of course. But what I will bring to you, you're all wanting to know and understand the vibration of us, who we are, what experiences that we had in many other lifetimes, and consciousness. But the way that we work with you, we will bring you the things that make you feel secure and happy, of course. When I am blending with Janine, of course I am Richard, but there are many other beings coming to communicate through Janine through many other lifetimes. And yes, I am Richard, but it is another experience of my lifetime that I had once I was here on Mother Earth. So we bring what reassures her and helps her feel comfortable. And I'm going to say that Janine has had insecurities of the past with family, I'm going to say. She's needed that reassurance and love from her parents that maybe that she's not received, because of course they are healing too, aren't they, my dear? So I come into her vibration and I bring an experience of my lifetime that brings her comfort, a little bit like a granddad or a granddad, whatever you want to experience. So we bring her that feeling and nurturing and reassurance, so she receives that vibration that she has lost, maybe in this lifetime. But at the same time as we bring her that reassurance and comfort enough to go into trance and to allow us to come through and speak through her, she also has our lessons to learn too. Because in the spirit we have to allow the lessons to proceed forward with you all. So even though that she is feeling comfortable with me because she has that unconditional love, that fatherly feeling of being comfortable and nurtured, she has to learn and experience, as you've said before, about family, about healing the self and loving the self too. So this is why we tend to work with you. Many of your guides will work a little bit differently to the way that we work with Janine, of course, but they will always bring you something that you're going to feel comfortable in, but will also bring you what you're lacking in, and you need to, I would say, work on. So that is why that we work on the healing. Everything comes back to the healing, my love.
Yes, it really does. And we need that. One of the questions that also is asked quite often is, how do we quiet our mind, especially when we have a very active mind? What can we do to quiet that?
Well, no, we do struggle with Janine a little bit about this, quietening the mind down. How do we clear your mind? Well, we don't rush in and take all your memories away or things that you are thinking about. We talk largely about responsibility, isn't it? Responsibility in your world, Mother Earth. All of you taking responsibility for actions, emotions, words, and feelings, even the way the world is proceeding forward, the way that you see the world progressing forward, even the wars that had happened in your world. It all comes back to the responsibility, doesn't it? So we work greatly on trying to achieve that within yourselves. Because, of course, we are in the spirit, aren't we, my dear? So when we come with you, we are accepting the responsibility to work with you all and to help you heal and take that transition. But it is about taking the responsibility, isn't it?
It really is. That is the key. Thank you, Richard. Something we need to remember.
You're welcome.
What would you say to people that are starting their journey and they want to do that deep healing of themselves to come to have a closer relationship with the spiritual world? What are some of the things they could do or start with?
Well, no, there are many things that you can do that you all know, don't you? Your meditations that you do, or going into nature, whatever it is that you want to experience that calms the mind down. But when I talk about the mind, how would you clear that? How would you clear all the clutter of thoughts that are going through your mind in the physical world? How would you clear that to create a connection to the spirit, to connect to us? Well, of course, we need your mind, don't we? We need the thoughts, we need the wisdom, we need the communication, the understanding of your thoughts. You are part of the equation with spiritual development. So I will sit here and channel through Janine, but we need her thoughts and memories. We need many past life experiences that she holds on to in her vibration and her spirit. Without that, we cannot communicate through her vibration, can we? So we understand that she is spirit too, and she will have the knowledge and wisdom alongside with us. We will merge together, we come as one, don't we, as Janine has mentioned before. But how do we actually do that? How do we blend with your vibration? How do we come into your vibration? But it is accepting the self again, isn't it? Understanding your own vibration, getting to know yourself, understanding and trusting the words that come out of your mouth, the experiences that you have gone through, trusting the development, the challenges that you have gone through in your life, the negative experiences. They bring the great challenges. They are the great experiences of your life. You understand the great philosophers of the world, great powerful men that learn and teach many others that come forward into your world. Without the mistakes and challenges and experiences, they could not bring the wisdom to your world. So you are experiencing that in your physical world with yourselves, aren't you? So we need you to experience that. The more that you go through, the better the channel is going to be for us to come through. Your wisdom is part of that too. You see what I mean, my dear?
I do. And that was very helpful. I hope that that helped people. It helped
You're
me for
welcome.
sure. Um, oh, sorry. One of the questions I think people have a lot as well is what is it like on the other side? How can you share with us what we would experience on the other side or what you experience on the other side?
Of course, it's great challenges for you in your world, isn't there? You
Mhm.
experience many different things. You are just on a different vibration, my dear, on a different level of consciousness. We are in the spirit and you're in the earthly plane, aren't you? But of course, what is it like for us? Well, our memories and thoughts and challenges and achievements, many problems that we've experienced is, and I would say, gone through into that vibration, that connection to many lifetimes, the many things that we bring to you, the wisdom and knowledge into your energy. There are many thoughts and emotions that are stored within the consciousness from many lifetimes. So, of course, we connect to them in spirit, we experience them. We are healing too within the spirit. You are healing here too. So
Mhm.
when we're in spirit, we are experiencing many challenges and things that we've had to go through. So we start to heal and go through that vibration. So to connect to Janine in that trance state, we have to learn in that energy again. We have
Mhm.
to heal from those experiences. So in the spirit, we are challenging ourselves all the time, challenging ourselves to heal so we can create that vibration to connect with you. We work with you with your healing too. So we are doing exactly the same as you're doing here, trying to process, trying to heal. But of course, because we're on that different vibration of light and sound, we're able to communicate from a different realm. But we come through with those experiences. So, yes, in the spirit, we continue to heal. It is never ending, my dear. It continues and continues. We are continuing all the time into each lifetime. We will experience a new experience and challenges. It keeps going on, doesn't it, my dear?
It does. And that's a very good point. And I hope that people will understand it. I feel like also what you're saying is don't be in a hurry in this lifetime, but just experience it because this is part of our learning. Is that correct?
Yes, of course. It's just allow yourselves to experience the challenges, you know. We are here to guide you and to help you. If you're willing to listen to yourselves more, we will come stronger into that vibration.
Mhm.
But you talk about, you know, what it is like in spirit for us. We are consciousness, we are light. We're able to be in many different places and lifetimes at the same time. We are continually learning. I am having another lifetime presently at this moment, but I am in spirit communicating through Janine. And you are too, and so is Janine and many others. You are continually learning. You have great wisdom. And when we try to connect to you all, we try to say to you, well, you have the intelligence, you have the belief, I would say. You have to trust in yourselves because you
Mhm.
already are in spirit with a great knowledge and empowerment already. Is that you are not trusting it. I can guarantee to you that I am having another lifetime and I am experiencing the self doubt that you are feeling right now, but I am in spirit too, channeling through Janine. It is all multi dimensional, my dear. I will try not to go into too much length on this, but understand it, trust it. You are all spirit, you're all multifaceted. It is learning to discover the self, and then you will feel connected, won't you?
I absolutely love that. Janine had said that when we pass that we would be helping mediums as well, but what I'm hearing you say is that we're actually doing that now.
Yes, of course, you are
That's
continually
amazing.
doing that.
Uh,
Janine won't believe it, of course, like she never does, but we try to convince her. You see, you're on your planet, aren't you? You're on Mother Earth. You
mhm,
see many of the stars in the sky, don't you? You understand that they were old planets once before, and you see the light and the consciousness and vibration from that old planet that was once, but you see it with your, I would say, the retinas of your eyes. You understand the vibration of light, but you are seeing many memories gone by, many planetary systems that have gone by. But many of these planets are recreated within your universe of space. But you cannot adjust to see them in your physical world. You do not have the, I would say, the technology to see. You do not have the physical eyesight and physical phenomena in your world to see these from many light years away. But they continue and they evolve, but they leave that wonderful light behind in your universe that you call stars now, isn't it? You see that beautiful vibration and you look up and you say, well, I can see that wonderful star there shining brightly in the sky. You are seeing a consciousness that is reflecting its light out, just like we do in spirit. We are consciousness shining our light to you. That is how Janine is able to see to us and to understand the light that we bring towards her. It is the same with the
mhm,
stars. It is the same with you, my dear. You
mhm.
are multifaceted. You are in many different places at one time, shining your light, aren't you?
That's amazing. So sometimes when I'm sitting in meditation, I feel like I'm the hindrance to opening my eyes and seeing all that you said, not through my physical eyes, but through my mind's eye. Is that possible to just trust and know that you could see it through your mind's eye?
Of course you are. the way that we work with you, we will come in and put the images into your mind, won't we? We will sort of bring our memory through, or
Mm-hmm.
try to help you to understand through your clairvoyance, don't you? You call it the pineal gland, the third eye is what you call it in your world, but it isn't actually called any of that. What actually happens is we come into the mind, we come into your vibration and your energy, and we light up. I would say light up various amounts of light and energy into your space, into your physical mind and consciousness. We connect with your spirit that is already in the spiritual realm. You call it the higher self, don't you? So we connect to your spirit. We send the information to your spirit, and your spirit will send the information to your retina in your eyes and through your brain and the stem cells in your mind, and create a vibrational light. So, for instance, if I bring, I would say a message to Janine clairvoyantly. I will go to her higher self, I will go to her spirit, and I will communicate and send the information through. And her spirit will send the light signals to the retinas of her eyes to receive through the brain stem cell into the mind. It's like flashes of light and consciousness connecting and communicating, a little bit like the stars, as I was discussing earlier, isn't it? It is all light and speed and vibration of consciousness. So we sort of connect in that vibration. But you're going to say and ask now, how does the light reach from spirit to mind? But of course, that is another subject for another day. But the light frequencies will reach the mind because you have your physical body, don't you? You have your physical mind. But if we take away that, you are just light, like those beautiful stars in the sky. So we only see you as light. So we connect the light to another form of light, which is you, my dear. It is the communication through light. That is all it is.
That's interesting. Um, I know that I have questions here, and I want to go off by what you say. But I'm wondering, is because we're human and we have this experience in the human body, do we then limit ourselves from our humanness, or are we capable of going beyond that humanness into really seeing the other side through that, what the third eye that you were talking about?
You have your communication signals. I don't know if it's Janine, her technology here. I'm using her ears. You'll have to
Mhm.
repeat, my dear.
It was kind of convoluted. I'm thinking about we, what ways that we could unlock that limitation that we put on in our own mind and our own self to be able to get through the limitations into really seeing more of the spiritual world or the truth of the spiritual world.
Well, of course, it's like trying to take down the walls, isn't it? Layer
Hmm.
by layer, the communication. But it comes back to the same question, doesn't it?
It does.
Communicating with the self. It is about complete trust. I'm going to say to you,
Mhm.
Janine struggles with this, of course, with the trust issues. But once she trusts herself completely, you are all spirit. If you trust each other and yourselves and bring that complete unconditional love to the self and believe every word and vibration that is coming through your own spirit, your own mind, you will start to create that greater connection of light. You see, we need you to raise your vibrations, and in order to do that, you need to trust. That is the only way that we're going to connect with your vibration. So it's rather like trying to turn on a light, isn't it? Or I would say light a candle to come into your vibration.
Mhm.
We need you to light your own candle, to light yourselves up, to heal yourselves, to believe every word that is coming into your vibration. You all have your gut instincts, you call it, don't you? That feeling of needing to do something, of what feels right and wrong. That feeling is your own spirit, just trying to reach out to you and communicate with you, as I've said many times. All you need to do is to trust yourselves, and then you'll be able to trust us, of course, won't you?
Absolutely. So another question, which is interesting, is that humans are quite happy to take another's human free will away, but would never dream of taking spirit's free will away. Can you talk a little bit about that?
I'm here to talk a little bit more about that. 'Tis Apple here, my love.
Apple. Hi, Apple. I haven't met you yet.
'Tis Apple, my love.
Nice to meet you, Apple.
Well, I talk to you, but I don't speak in the same way as Richard. Communication comes closely to your world, doesn't it? Tis about the communication, taking layer by layer down, taking brick by brick down, to allow the communication to come forward. But you take down each other in your world sometimes. We teach the support of one another in your world. We want you to help one another, to connect to each other through the spirit rather than that mind. Gets in the way quite a lot, doesn't it? But once you connect to each other on a soul level, your communication to one another will come from a healing place. That little mind gets in the way. It's like trying to open a box with a sellotape on it already. You can't open it. You need to open it up and surrender to it and allow the information to come from your own spirit. Then the greater connection to others will come in that healing. You see, my love?
I do. That makes sense. Thank you. There is some people that would like to know more information on portals and vortexes, and how that would serve in our divine journey. Can you talk a little bit about the vortexes and the portals that are in our universe and the purpose of them?
Well, I won't talk about that. I will let Richard proceed forward, my love.
Okay. Thank
I
you,
can
Apple.
say it in an uncomplicated way, if you wish.
That would be perfect.
But the portals in your world, you understand from one energy to another. Different dimensions, as Richard would tell you. It's just different frequencies of light, isn't it, my love? Different energies that you don't understand with the physical mind. It is only the mind that holds you back from not understanding these different dimensions. Your vibration is different to the spirit vibration that I am in too. We're all vibrating differently to you. It is only the way that the mind perceives it. If you let the spirit perceive the energy, you will see the portals of energy around you. You will see the lights around you. You will understand the spirit more physically with the sight or line of sight that you see with your eyes. But as Richard has said quite a lot about your healing, it is the healing within that is going to allow you to see these different portals of energy. It is like you got your house, haven't you, my love? And you leave your house and you walk into somebody else's house. Their energy is a little bit different to yours. They might have their sofa in a different place. Bit of furniture that may not be your style, my love. Everybody is different. Everybody lives differently. Each and every one of you think differently, do things differently, develop differently with different energies and vibration. So when you want to connect to us in the spirit through those portals, you just need to adjust your vibration. Just work with your spirit and you will soon start to see the frequencies start to change within your space. You will start to understand. It is like adjusting your energy when you walk into somebody's house, my love. You walk in, you have a little look around, and you adjust your energy to that vibration in that space. You say, well, I don't really like that sofa. I'd have a little different colour. And you say, well, they live differently to me, but I'll adjust myself to that. So that is what I'm saying to you. You just need to adjust yourselves in your physical world and start to heal and start to connect to the self. We all say the same thing, but in a different context, don't we, my love?
Yes, we do. That's very important. Yes, I love that. Um, could you maybe? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Richard.
I was just commenting she's quite chatty today.
I loved how she put that. Would you like to also comment about vortexes and portals?
Yes, of course. You want different viewpoints, don't you? And on the subject, but the vortex is largely connected to what Ethel was saying, as she's trying to simplify things for you to understand. It's the changing the vibration within yourselves, I would say, to build that greater connection. But those vortexes, the only reason that you don't see them is that the speed of sound and light and vibration on Mother Earth is very much, I would say, different to the vibration of where we are. So, of course, you're trying to see into a vortex with your physical eyes, or a dimension of time with your physical essence that you are living in. And I would say that that is quite hard to do, because you are on Mother Earth, you are dealing with gravity, aren't you? Different speed of light and color and vibration. So, of course, the retinas are trying to adjust to the vibration of Mother Earth. That is what you've been used to since you were, I would say, born into this place, weren't you? So, of course, you're sort of fighting against that too. But what I would say that Ethel is trying to explain is that if you connect to the spirit, that will help raise the vibration a little bit. So it's just like getting a little glimpse into the future, or a little glimpse into something that you don't normally see physically with your eyes, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But there is great connection within your universe, because even though that you are at gravity and you're on Mother Earth, and you have the universe too, you have space and time as you are with your spacesuits. If you go into space, you would be floating about, wouldn't you? But it is all wrapped around Mother Earth. But yet Mother Earth is at a gravity. You're able to breathe on Mother Earth. You're able to stand. You're able to eat and think at a certain vibration. But yet the universe is still able to wrap its vibration and energy around Mother Earth and interconnect and interlink. And of course, that gravitational pull that you get in space is very, very different. You are floating about, but it adjusts the climate conditions, your weather, storms, sun, rain, winter, whatever you want to call it, and your different seasonal patterns. It has a great effect on that, and it stimulates it. But yes, those two different vibrations are able to coexist. So the universe wraps its vibration around the whole of Mother Earth through the ozone layer and above, sort of a little bit like different layers, isn't it, into that layering pattern. So if you think, when you are trying to connect to the vibration and portals, they are just the thin layers of vibration that are connected to Mother Earth, connected to your vibration, but you've just got to, I would say, break through the layers. They are coexisting together. They are on the cusp of communication, a little bit like the universe and space to Earth, isn't it? It all interconnects, so you're able to connect to that vibration. But if you connect to the soul, you will raise the vibration, your consciousness, your spirit, and you will come into that higher vibration and be able to connect with these portals of time too. But Ethel explained it a little bit less complex. I hope that's helped you a little bit.
I absolutely think both were very important. So thank you very much for that. Some people would like, I think, to know what exactly is the higher self, and how is that connected to your soul?
Well, a higher self is part of your soul. We use the word to sort of draw, I would say, ease and comfort again, as I was saying before about the guides, isn't it? You say, well, that is my higher self. Your higher self is your spirit, my dear. It is part of your consciousness. It is the multifaceted part of you. It is constantly evolving and learning within the spirit and within the physical realm too. It is your spirit. It has always been your spirit. We sort of stand in the background and have a little chuckle as Janine says, well, I can't communicate with spirit. But all we're asking her to do is communicate with herself. Once she communicates with her own spirit that is up here, I would say, floating about with us in the dimension, communicating with us perfectly well, clear as day, I would say. But she's not trusting it in the physical realm. We have to persuade the physical mind, convince it to believe, isn't it?
That is really important. Thank you very much for that. That helped me a lot. I hope it helped everybody else.
We'll have to excuse Janine a little bit. She's getting in the way a little bit. But,
I'm feeling we need to wrap this up soon too, but a few more questions. A lot of people had questions about our animals and how much we love our animals. What is the process that they go through going to the other side and our relationship at meeting them again when we go home?
of course, the animals, you'll talk about the unconditional love. They bring that vibration to you, don't they? They sort of bring you that ease and comfort into your energy, as Janine knows. But why do they bring that ease and comfort to you? Because they have never experienced, I would say, the self-doubt and criticism, have they? They have come into the world of that unconditional love, that wonderful vibration, so they're able to maintain that vibration. That is why that we can communicate with the animals very clearly and bring you them as signs of messages to you from the spirit, don't we? Because we're able to connect with them on a very high vibration. So they're sort of like I would say, the stepping stones of communication. We use them to connect to you. It is rather like just taking that connection, isn't it, and coming and talking to you. We use them to talk to you, to bring a message. It is the vibration again. Because if we're coming through the animals to bring you a message, we don't have to slow down the vibration so much. I would say it's less work for us, I was going to say to you. So it means that we don't have to work so hard in the spirit. So the animals will communicate and on a vibrational level, and they will bring that message to you.
I love that. Are animals ever, do they ever come as humans? Or can we go from a human to an animal in different lifetimes?
Yes, of course you can, and I would say that many may disagree that we will only bring the truth from spirit. But yes, many of the animals will connect you and reincarnate as, I would say, different animals. But sometimes they have had, I would say, earthly experiences, earthly lives, I was going to say. But many of the humans, if they choose to come back as an animal in another lifetime, they have come from a place of a higher vibration. They've been able to connect to the spirit maybe a little bit more clearly in their earthly lives. So they sort of come into that higher vibration. So when they cross to spirit and come with us, they sort of choose to come back in that higher vibration as an animal, maybe to come and communicate with you. So of course, as I've said before, we will communicate to the animals to bring you a message, won't we? So many times this communication is decided, of course, with the human beings. They've decided, well, I've come to spirit and I want to go back and have an earthly existence. But the only way I can reach, as you've talked about family as well, the only way that I can reach my family is through the unconditional love state. Sometimes they will choose to come back as an animal or a pet or whatever it is they decide to bring that lesson back. Quite often, many are not willing to listen in that earthly life, or they're not ready to receive. So quite often, an animal or a thought of a vibration of an animal Even the memory of an animal can bring reassurance to a family member or physically coming back in that form.
Wow, that's really, I've never heard that or thought of that before that way. That's really intriguing. Wow.
Janine won't believe it. She's
Who
never heard
believes
of
you,
it, so
Richard?
she's not going to believe it at all. And if you mention it afterwards, she'll probably say, well, no, that isn't true, Joanne, I know.
Yeah, we've had a few conversations like that. Um,
I
um,
interrupt you, of course, my dear. I
please,
don't want
please.
to. I would like to just bring one little subject through
Okay.
concerning the animals.
Mhm.
Quite often, many of the human beings that have had communication on the earth and have lived a human existence, like myself, quite often, sometimes they will go to the spirit realm and they will come and communicate and come back through the spirit realm, and they will come and manifest into an animal as well.
Mm.
They'll sort of like come and blend into the vibration of an animal. So quite often the human spirit will connect with an animal on the, I would say, the earthly plane, and has chosen not to come back and have an earthly existence, but come and blend with the animal kingdom to reach many of the loved ones that are alive, many friends that need messages, and we will come and blend with the animal kingdom's vibration. So it's not just a message and then leaving necessarily. Some
Mhm.
of the spiritual people will choose to coexist within the consciousness within many of the animal kingdom, but it is very complicated and hard to describe, and I have to rely on Janine's development for that.
That is amazing. That is. So, with that being said, then, do animals specifically pick us for our learning and our evolving then?
Yes, many of the animals will connect with the spiritual realm, and there, of course, you understand and being able to see spirit, aren't you?
Mhm.
To
Mhm.
communicate with the spiritual realm and have that great connection. You see your animals and dogs and cats communicating. But many of the animals on the kingdom of your earth will connect with the many of the spiritual beings, and they will make those choices and decisions. Yes, of course, my dear.
Wow, that's crazy. That's amazing. Uh, what are some ways that somebody can open up or help to open up their third eye?
Yes, well, you want to make that communication again, don't you, my love? You want to open up that little third eye you call. You
Mhm.
want a stronger connection and communication. But your physical mind is in the way again, isn't it? You associate what you feel comfortable with. You
Mhm.
see the third eye, you say, I want to work with it. We just want you to work with yourselves.
Mhm.
You don't need to open the third eye or try to connect with it. If you connect with yourself, it will naturally happen in your energy. The consciousness, the vibration, the communication to us will start to happen, and with yourself. You associate your chakras, as you know, don't you? You understand that they are in your energy, little meridians that are there. You associate the colors and energy. But the chakras are just a form of energy that sits within your own spirit. It is all part of it, my love. It is just energy moving around and circling around, just as the third eye is. It's just a spiraling vortex of energy, just vibrating, waiting for the communication to come from the spirit. Once that third eye, as you want to call it, we'll keep saying that so you understand, the spirit will connect with it and bring that information through and that connective link. But you have to connect to that spirit, my love. You have to connect to it and understand that those energy centers that you think that are there are just energy moving around. The chakras that you call, I won't say it complicated like Richard, but you see the throat energy and you see your heart energy all in a neatly row, all neatly organized. You see, that is what it's about. It is about control of the mind, controlling your world, having everything in order and in place. It is just the mind and the interpretation of it. Your energy centers are all over the place, in many dimensions, in many different places, and within your auric layers too. They're everywhere. There are millions and trillions of them. They are just forms of energy and communication that build your consciousness together. They bring it all together in one. But it's a little bit like you're all scattered about, all of you. You got your spirit all over the place, trying to heal in spirits too. But you got yourself here in the physical realm too, trying to heal. And within that energy and meridians is all part of your spirit. And it's all trying to come together as one and trying to heal. Once you start to heal, all those energy centers will come together. All those meridians, all that consciousness will evolve and blend together as one. And you will come together as one with us. It's like gathering you all up, isn't it? Gathering
That
up
was
all that energy.
Yes, I see that. That was a great, great analogy. Great. I loved what you said. Thank you. It made it very clear. Let me put it that way.
Well,
I want
Richard is trying to say more about that, but
Can I say to you, I was sorry for putting Apple instead of Ethel. I don't know how I heard Apple, but thank you, Ethel.
that is okay, my dear. We understand in the spirit that
Oh,
mistakes
good.
do happen.
Yes, I do. Thank you. Okay, well, we'll be happy to hear from Richard about that.
What about mistakes?
No, yes. I could
I'm
talk a
quite
lot
a
about
joker, you
mistakes.
know. I like to joke.
Yes, you do. I appreciate it.
Shall I continue?
Sure, please.
Well, I like to bring a little bit of laughter.
Hmm.
You see, that is the key, isn't it? Laughter. Being joyous in the moment of your time, enjoying the experiences of your life, isn't it? Having a little banter, having a little giggle.
Hmm.
Richard will talk about it a little bit more complex. I have to keep saying that to reassure Janine, because she'll get in the way again. But you have to have a little bit of laughter in your life. We rely on the laughter and joyous times to connect with you. It is the only way to raise the vibrations to come and communicate with you sometimes. But laughter will change the outcome of what you're experiencing. You'll be going through a little bit of a difficult time, maybe with friends and family, thinking, well, I can't cope with this anymore.
Hmm.
But if you bring a little banter and laughter upon it and see the comical side of it all, because we're back here having a little banter ourselves, looking at what you are going through, seeing what you are healing from. And we can only watch and observe and allow it to happen for you. But we see the joyous and the laughter moments within that. But if you change that mindset and bring the joyous moments out of that situation, you're going to heal more and have that greater connection, aren't you, my love?
Yes, that's beautiful. I can just imagine all of our spirits and the other side having a lot of laughter. We need to have that more here. I've been feeling that.
Well, laughter is the key, of course,
Hmm.
but we can't make that happen on your world. We can't change your minds or control it or make you smile or laughter or make you depressed. It is the choices of your human mind what it decides. It's like teaching, isn't it? You go to school and you learn a different subject and you learn it and you require knowledge from it and you're
Hmm.
able to help others along the path of what you've learned within your jobs or careers, whatever it is that you're trying to do. But in the world, we see that the world has forgotten to laugh. Laughter is a great skill and a great teaching that we bring into your energy. We want you to see the positive, the joyous times, and we say when you're going through the negative, the positive will follow that in that energy to bring you the greatest achievements. So we must bring the positive out of the negative, isn't it, my love?
Mm. Thank you. I could feel the energy and the love from your words in that and how important it was. Thank you very much.
And you're most welcome, Layla.
I have another question about, I think about the connection with the other side and the fact that a lot of trance mediums are starting to hit more of the social medias, and I've been hearing like controversial statements between what one medium would say over another medium. Can you talk a little bit about the efficacy of trance mediumship and how to know where somebody is really being truthful or not truthful, and whether there would be a differencing of opinion between maybe the conversation that you would have with two different spirits?
Yes, of course. We will be there in a moment. I'm just trying to work with Janine here a little bit, of course. But yes, it's vibration, isn't it? And communication again, isn't it? Between all of you, isn't it? How you're communicating on you have your technology, don't you? Your social media. And I would say that we are very pleased about this, of course. And we're able to work through many mediums through this technology. And it is a great, wonderful thing. And we're very happy about this. But you talk about competition, don't you? You talk about many things to do with this, as Janine has mentioned many times. But it all comes back to the healing, doesn't it, my love? It is, we watch from the background and we see all of this happening, and we watch and we observe, but we have to allow the process to continue and the healing to continue in your world. But the healing and the fear, I would say, it is coming from the place of fear and worry and insecurity, I'm going to say. As we come closer into the energy to help you all heal, all of your guides are going to be working very differently from each and every one of you. But each guide wants to come into the vibration and help you heal through your trauma. This is what it's all about. This is what the great communication of spirit is about. It is about your healing. But of course, social media, you talk about your technology. Everybody sort of, I would say, fighting amongst themselves, and all these sort of situations we see on your earthly planet and earthly world. But this still happened even in my time, even though we didn't have technology then. There would still be the squabbling and arguments amongst the humans, of course. It has always continued through many lifetimes and experiences. But it's all letting go and allowing yourselves to heal and to understand that when you are reacting to somebody, it is their energy that you are reacting to, and to understand that you must work with your own vibration and your energy. If you work on the self, you will not react to their vibration and their distress. You will be able to see it from a spiritual perspective, and you'll be able to understand and listen within the vibration. We teach Janine this skill. We teach her to listen to the vibration and to see everybody from spirit side rather than their physical form, and understand that they are healing too, and they have come to teach you a lesson maybe in your own healing, and you have come to help them, of course, in their healing too, haven't you?
Yes. Thank you. That put it all into perspective perfectly. Thank you.
Yes, of course.
I know that we're coming on an hour, and I don't want to overtax Janine. Would you have, or any of you have, any last words that you would like to share with everybody today?
Well, I would like to, we would talk for many hours, of course.
I would love to.
Julie might not appreciate it, but yes, we will sit for a little bit longer. And I would like to talk about, if you don't mind, about your development, if that is okay.
Sure.
Development.
Definitely.
We see you all trying to develop your mediumship and many of your spiritual gifts. You're trying to learn and understand, well, how do I develop? You speak to your guides and you say, well, I want to channel more through my mediumship, or I want to channel my trance, or whatever it is that you are trying to do within the vibration. But we show you within that energy, it is all about the trust, isn't it? Trusting and believing within the self. Just like if we took you into a landscape that is completely barren and completely empty and there's nothing for miles, and you're all sat there and you're listening and you're saying, well, I'm seeing or hearing nothing. I don't understand what is going on. If we brought you into your spiritualism with a blank canvas, with no memories, no past lives, no experiences, no challenges that you have gone through, you would be at a blank canvas, wouldn't you? You'd say, well, that'd be much easier to try to understand. I would trust more within my team because I wouldn't be having those, I would say, emotional blockages in the way to get in my way. You see, if you look at it like that within your spiritual work, if you shift away all those distractions, try to put them to one side when you are working with the spirit, and when you're not working as a medium, come back into that present state and start working on the healing. Once you work through the healing, once you work on one little thing at a time, so say for example you're working on self-judgment, judgment of the self, you come into that place and you work with it and you release it, and I would say let go of that vibration. Then you come back into your blank canvas and say, well, I don't need that there anymore in my vibration. I do not need it in my landscape. I do not need to interpret that into my space anymore, so I don't have to think about it, you see. So you've cleared many thoughts and vibrations that don't serve you in your energy. So you clear that little gap. You've cleared a little gap for us, I would say, in spirit, to enter your mind and consciousness. Just like clearing a path, I would say, to enter your spiritual consciousness and your physical consciousness. So you've got that little path, as Ethel would say, you would walk up those little stones and we would get a little bit closer to your spirit. And then you clear away another emotional issue and you clear more space for us to enter forward. What it is, we watch from spirit's side and we watch you all trying to connect, but yet you've got all this stuff in the way, in your mind and vibration, in your physical vibration of Mother Earth, your physical mind. You've got it all there, cluttering it all up. If you start to work on the healing and unclutter it, I would say, a little bit, move it out of your space, and you will give us a little bit of room to move forward and move into your vibration. And I bring this to Janine, actually. It might help her clear some of that clutter away a little bit, won't it, my dear?
That was wonderful. Thank you so much for that. And thank you for your time and your wisdom, for all of you to share this time with us and enlighten us and help us with our path.
Yes, of course. It is. We try to, we help you all. We're always there in the background. Your spiritual team. We're all communicating. We're all blending together. How do you think that we blend together? We clear the clutter away. We work on the emotional stuff on spirit side as well. That is why that we're able to blend as one together and to communicate within your consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
We need you to do the same in the physical plane. Then you'll sort of, I would say, create that stronger link for us to connect with you. We have to, I would say, work just as hard on spirit side. So, for example, everything that I experienced in my life in the physical realm, I still have to work on. Each and every guide is still working on that element of trauma. You associate many of the spiritual beings, don't you, crossing to spirit. You associate in your physical world that many of the beings have got stuck on the physical plane and can't cross over, you see. We have to sort of, I would say, coax them across, persuade them to come to spirit and to work on the emotional healing. It continues and it continues. They don't just learn to blend with you on a whim. They have to work extremely hard within the spiritual consciousness and light on their own healing. It takes an incredible amount of work, I would say, to work through Janine. I have to work on myself, ourselves, as we commune together in the spirit, as she works on herself. It's just like we're trying to play catch up with Janine. We're working through the consciousness all the time.
Thank you for sharing that with us. I think that's important for us all to know that not only is it healing and work on our side, but also from the spiritual side as well. Not take that for
Yes.
granted.
We were working with Janine with her new guides, of course. I'm trying not to continue for too long, but we are working on the blending with them. And they try to come through and communicate through Janine. But they are working as well on their healing. They are working to communicate through Janine. She is learning to let go and understand and not control, of course, isn't it?
Yes, it's a team effort for sure.
Yes.
Thank you.
Be a moment or two. You are in the world of matter. They slow down the words of the speech in this medium. The learning of your world, the matter of your world, is slow for us. The world has changed many times in your world, through many generations of your world. Things will settle within your space. The Great Spirit communes upon you. It is all as one within your energy. The Great Spirit is all. It is not just us. It is all of your world. It is the grounds that you walk. It is the animals that walk your plains. It is the thoughts of you all. The Great Spirit is your thoughts. The Great Spirit is the communing of all memories and all thoughts of your world. The world walks, it evolves and it changes as you do. I take my time to talk through her. But the world needs to take its time. It needs to understand in the matter of your world. The time is needed to grow. The ground upon you, the ground that you walk upon, is changing, but not at speed. The world changes at its speed, it needs to grow. Many of the world of matter, the living wants to change at speed. This is not possible in your world. To move with speed, we need the ego to proceed out of the way. The greed of the physical world needs to move out of its way. The fear needs to move. Many emotions of your world need to move aside. To surrender, to move to one side, to allow the Great Spirit to come and commune as one. Your thoughts, your memories, every thought and thing you think in your world is the Spirit. It is the great unknown, the Great Spirit. You just need to work with this. But the work of the physical world is hard for you. We see the work that is needed within your world. But you need to see it too. It comes with great sacrifice to work with you. But we need you to sacrifice the self, to surrender to the self. I'm going to bring her back, which is quite hard for her, my dear.
Thank you.
God, you're right there. You look miles
No,
away.
are you all right there? We had an amazing time. Craziness and amazing time. I tried to bring you back sooner, but your guides were not having it. So it is what it is.
Oh my
I
God.
kept it
It's
pretty
7
close
o'clock.
to an hour, though. Yeah, try to keep it to an hour. I started wrapping it up at like 45 minutes. Go back and listen. I do want to apologize right now for the crazy person that was on. And Janine, if you want to put your name back, there was somebody who tried to hijack the recording, the show. So I
Who
got
was
rid of
that?
him. Yeah, some person in Chinese, a troll. We had a troll. So we got rid of the
Oh,
troll.
it's just a troll. Don't worry about it.
Somehow they changed my name to their name. So I put my name through the whole thing. So if you want to put your name back so people know who you are, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah. My God, where did that come from? How did they get in, I wonder?
I don't know. And I'm going to have to find out how they were able to change the information on the screen as well. You guys
You're
are very welcome.
kidding.
No, I
Oh
was
my God,
surprised.
Joan.
Thankfully, I think I caught it pretty fast. I'll have to go back over the recording, but
So what did they do?
it was in Japanese, Chinese, for an Oriental language, so I don't know what they said. So I just kind of got rid of them. I banned them from the event, but also had to get out of and report and spam and whatever.
Oh,
And
what a
YouTube, so.
nightmare, Joe. Well, I wouldn't have known,
Okay.
would I? Oh
I
my
hope
God.
that they were educated through that, because clearly I was educated through that. You're going to be educated through that. That was amazing.
Wow. My God. I mean, I must admit, the only time I've ever had a troll was about 12 months ago on one live stream once. But the trouble is, they do get in occasionally, don't
Yeah,
they?
they do. You know what? It's actually better because it opens up the portals, which is funny. I did that on purpose, to other people that may not have seen this, because when somebody comes in, you're opening up to their group of people. So it actually helps to educate. So I don't have a problem with it. You just have to be on it. So it's all good.
Yeah.
We got rid of them.
We got rid of them. Oh, that's funny, isn't it? How they come in. My God.
And hopefully, I mean, we had great conversations. So hopefully he learned something.
Oh my God. Oh no.
About
Oh,
the spiritual
Joe, I'm so
world.
sorry. Had all that to deal with.
Oh no, that was nothing. Are you kidding? You had the hard work. That was easy work. I just had to push some buttons, keep on top of it. That's all I had to do.
Oh my God.
The only problem is I wasn't really hearing what Richard was saying, which was very interesting. So I'm going to have to. I hope everybody listens to this again, because it was so amazing and such great conversation.
Yeah, I don't remember a lot about it. I can remember something happening at the end with a new guide, but I wasn't really stepping out of the energy. It was stepping away because, yeah.
It was very profound. What is the name of the new guide? I wanted to ask, but I didn't want to interrupt you.
No idea. They just keep calling themselves the
that's
many.
Right. The many.
Yeah, I mean, I had somebody said to me they've seen a Native American there, but with light beams as well. So there's many different.
It did feel like even the message was universal. Like this is a universal message to how
Yeah.
all of us should live, you know.
I mean,
and
they
be able
keep.
to-
I keep saying to Richard, why do they keep popping in every time I go into trance? They keep coming in and in and in. But because it's only been weeks, literally a couple of weeks now, that they've been coming through, and I'm still learning to let go with them. Do you know what I mean? They're not flowing like Richard and Alice and Ethel. They're not flowing because, but then
Mhm.
again, Richard was like that in
I
the
was going to
beginning.
say,
So
Richard was talking about how they're learning to deal with us and we're learning to deal with them. So it's a give and take
yeah,
relationship. So it could be a new.
I think it will definitely be interesting to see over the next 6 months how the new guides are, because it's been a matter of what, 2 weeks. So it's sort of, I'm letting them through with great reluctancy, letting them through on each demonstration, but I'm allowing them to come through because I can hear Richard saying, everybody will understand if you get in the way. It doesn't matter, because eventually the more and more you let them through, the easier it's going to get and the more it's going to flow, just like it was with Richard. And I just have to keep trusting that. And when they come into the energy, I'm just thinking, I can't do that. No. But Richard just allows them through for some reason. He gets me to step aside. But
Well,
it's
I
like,
thought the message was
nothing's
profound.
coming out.
It didn't appear that way from this end. Let's just say it that way. It appeared to be, I mean, it seemed like it was a little more of a friction, but the message came out very well and it was very pertinent.
Yeah, I mean, it does feel, not that I've got any much awareness going on, but certainly when they come through, it just feels like I'm opening my mouth. But I'm sensing somebody's opening my mouth, if that makes any sense. But it's stuck. It's almost, the only way I'm going to describe it feels like something stuck in my throat. And it's not coming out. It's like they're trying to push the words out, but yeah, I can physically feel it back in the throat energy.
Yeah,
definitely feels weird.
you must be exhausted from that, because that was a lot of information that was flowing through you, man.
Well, I mean, to be honest, I had terrible back pain when I sat here before, and now I'm completely pain free. So
Yay.
it's just spirit just take it off me, don't they? And which is nice anyway.
That's amazing.
I can't believe the flipping time they were talking. Oh my god. Okay.
I did my best. I really did, but they were like loose and they just wanted to talk. So I know Janine's getting tired. I can feel it.
Yeah. Like, oh my god. Oh no. I'm surprised nobody's gone to sleep on the live stream.
Oh no, yeah. We continued to have like 15, 17, 13 people like in and out.
Oh my
So,
god.
and a lot of
I
great
can't believe you got
guys.
a troll. Do you know, one time I did have a troll, actually. It was ages ago. It was on my live stream card readings once. I think Shell might have been helping me with the the admin. And some guy came on and started advertising all his readings along the live stream. And I think Shell was trying to, how'd you block him? And that was about 12 months ago now, I think. I think it's the last time I had anyone, but it does happen, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And it doesn't bother me. If they want to come in here and share their stupid knowledge, then go for it. I don't think you're going to convince anybody other than maybe a new person who's, still getting over the fear of what we're doing. But other than that, like maybe we're educating that person. I think I know it said Chinese 666, whatever. I don't really care. But I felt like it potentially may have been a man. It felt like to me, and I feel like he probably was using some kind of robotic kind of something. So, because his messages were coming too fast, so it was something he probably already had set up or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's nobody Chinese in my group. I don't think I've got anybody who's Chinese.
This was not anybody in anybody's group.
No, I mean, what was it? Somebody said the other day they were having problems. Who the hell? I'm just trying to. I know somebody came to me and had problems. I can't even remember who it was now. Last week, that I think they'd been hacked. The whole of their Messenger and Facebook had been hacked, and it was somebody else. Yeah, It was somebody else. I know something's been going on around Facebook the last couple of days, definitely.
Well, I know that he didn't have control of the platform because I was able to get him out of there, but I moved pretty quickly. But I don't know how he was able to change the names. He took my name off and your name off, so I'm going to have to figure out why that happened. That's why my name is there. Yeah. He
Oh my
changed,
God.
took your name off and he put my name, he took my name off and put his whatever Chinese 666 something. And I was like, how did that get there? Oh shit.
Oh my
Oop.
God.
You
Are
better
we
change
still
that now.
live?
We are still live. Everybody is hearing this
Think
entire
about when they're
conversation.
sent to try us.
And they're all leaving one by one. I'm glad everybody enjoyed it.
Yeah, as long as everybody's happy.
Oh, Pam, it wasn't on Facebook, it was on YouTube. YouTube's the one that normally would get hacked more easily.
It's YouTube then, was it?
Yeah, it was YouTube. Yeah, that was a YouTube thing. And thankfully, because of Marilyn, I appreciate it. I had my phone on, so I was able to go through both the phone and because what would have happened is I was able to block him off of StreamYard so he couldn't do anything. But I had to go onto YouTube and erase all of whatever profanity and whatnot he put there. So thankfully I had my YouTube open. So high five,
I
Marilyn.
didn't even think that people could hack into YouTube. I knew they could do it on Facebook, but not YouTube.
Yeah.
Really?
No, everybody on Facebook was very well behaved and very engaged and very lovely. And I enjoyed all of them a lot. And I do enjoy Marilyn, who was on YouTube, but the other person, not so much. I don't think that we should be bothered by trolls because they're just doing their work and we just have to say, bless you, goodbye. And I think that came through too with a question about, I've been paying attention to how much trans mediumship is coming out and everybody has their opinions about their guides and their guides have opinions about life and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, how do you know who to trust or not? And basically Richard said, you have to come from a place of love. It's all a lesson. So love is the answer.
Difficult, isn't it? I mean, I've got really pedantic about the live streams now and stuff like that, like on the spiritualist group. And but I think, it's just all part of it. Whether we're in churches or on live stream, we're always going to get somebody, isn't it? It's natural.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we're all here for our own journey. So we have to trust everybody's journey. We don't have to participate in their life, though.
No.
I choose not to be in that environment. So I'm backing away, but bless you. Have a good time. Anyway, I would like to thank you, Janine, and your guides for being here. And I would love and like to thank everybody who was a part of this and who asked questions. I'm sorry I didn't get to all of them. I tried. Part of the thing for me was I was asking the questions. And so I was looking for questions and trying to listen. And I wasn't doing that really well. But I limped along.
I think we have to thank Joanne, though, for today, really, because you've just, you allowed everybody to come on and come and ask questions, which is just amazing. And we're going to have to get you onto one of my gatherings and do your clairvoyance. So that'll be good.
Oh, yeah, we were going to do that. Well, you know what? I'll talk to you after. I'm going to sign off and then we'll finish. But thank you, everybody, for being here so we can end this. And have an amazing rest of your day. And I hope you listen to this recording again because it was fabulous and so much information. And thank you all for being here.
Take care. Bye-bye.